Some places don't become haunted. They were never meant for people in the first place. In the autumn of 2018, the Carter family packed everything they owned into a rented moving truck and left behind the noise of Seattle for what they believed would be a peaceful new beginning. Mark Carter had spent nearly 20 years working as an architect. His wife, Sarah, taught elementary school. Together, they had 2 children, Emily, who was 15, and Ethan, who had just turned 8. Life in the city had become expensive. Endless traffic, crowded neighborhoods, and long workdays had left them exhausted. They dreamed of a quieter life, somewhere surrounded by nature. When Mark found a 2-story farmhouse deep in the forests of northern Montana, it felt almost too good to be true. The house sat alone at the end of a narrow gravel road, surrounded by towering pine trees that stretched toward the sky like dark pillars. Behind the house lay miles of untouched forest. The nearest town was almost 30 minutes away. The property included 5 acres of land, an old wooden barn, and a small lake hidden beyond the trees. The asking price was less than half what similar homes sold for. Mark assumed the previous owner had simply wanted a quick sale. He never questioned why. Maybe he should have. The family arrived just before sunset. As the movers unloaded furniture, a rusty pickup truck slowly pulled into the driveway. An elderly man stepped out. He introduced himself as Walter.
Once the sun sets,
"I live about a mile down the road," he said. He welcomed them politely before glancing toward the tree line. His smile disappeared. "You folks should know one thing," Mark laughed. "What's that?" Walter hesitated. "When the sun goes down," he looked directly at Ethan. "Keep your children inside." Sarah smiled politely. "We don't usually let them wander around at night anyway." Walter shook his head. "You don't understand." His voice dropped almost to a whisper. "After sunset, don't answer anyone outside." Emily exchanged a confused look with her mother. Walter continued. "If someone knocks, ignore it. If someone calls your name, ignore it. And whatever happens, don't open the front door." Before anyone could ask another question, Walter climbed back into his truck and drove away. Over the next 2 days, the Carters met 3 more neighbors. Each one seemed friendly. Each one repeated the exact same warning. Never go outside after sunset. Never answer voices from the woods. Lock every door before dark. None of them explained why. Mark became convinced the town had invented some strange local tradition to scare newcomers. "People love ghost stories," he joked during dinner. Emily rolled her eyes. "It's creepy." Sarah shrugged. "They're probably trying to keep tourists from wandering into the forest." Even Ethan laughed. "I'm not scared." Mark smiled. "Neither am I." Outside, the wind suddenly stopped. The forest became perfectly silent. Their first week passed peacefully. Mark repaired the old porch. Sarah planted flowers. Emily spent afternoons photographing the lake. Ethan explored every inch of the property. Everything felt normal, almost. There were little things. Birds never landed near the house. The deer stopped at the edge of the woods, but never crossed into the yard. Every evening, exactly 20 minutes before sunset, the forest fell unnaturally quiet. No insects, no birds, no wind, just silence. Then, without fail, every house in the valley turned on every light they had. Porch lights, barn lights, floodlights, even though no one stepped outside. On the 8th night, it began. At exactly 2:17 a.m., knock. Mark's eyes opened. A single knock echoed through the house. He waited. Nothing. He looked at the clock. 2:17, then knock, 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 slow, patient, coming from the front door. Sarah sat upright. Did you hear that? Mark nodded. It's probably someone whose car broke down. He grabbed a flashlight and walked downstairs. The knocking stopped. He looked through the peephole. No one, only darkness. He unlocked the deadbolt. His hand reached for the doorknob. Then he remembered Walter's warning. Don't open the front door. Mark laughed to himself. What am I doing? Instead, he checked the security monitor mounted beside the kitchen. The front porch camera showed nothing, an empty porch, no people, no animals, no movement. Then, knock. The sound echoed again. Louder this time. The camera still showed nothing. Emily appeared at the top of the stairs. Dad? Someone's outside. No one's there. Could answer. A child's voice drifted through the front door. Soft, barely louder than a whisper. Hello? Sarah froze. It sounded like a little girl. Can you help me? Emily looked terrified. Mark felt his stomach tighten. The voice continued. I'm lost. Please. I'm cold. Sarah instinctively stepped toward the door. Mark grabbed her arm. No. The knocking stopped. The voice disappeared. Silence